Good morning, family. Today we're back with part 2 of 777. I think you're going to get a kick out of this one because I actually have some things to share with you. So part 2 consists of giving you the associated colors and whatnot, and whatever else that comes with gemstones or whatever for you use to utilize for your own spiritual well-being to enhance your spirituality in your life. I gave you the first part. We talked about the number I read associate with the god or goddess you're associated with. So the number corresponds with the number of letters that you have in your name, and you leave off the prefixes and suffixes of your name. So what we have now is we're going into the colors, signs, and symbols that we have. So we're going to start in order from 1 to approximately 32. So if you haven't already counted out the number of letters in your name as the total, whatever that is, leave out junior or whatever, or the third, the fourth, leave all that out. You're going to just come as you are in the terms of your whole name without those. So with that boring explanation out the way, I'm going to read off the numbers now associated with the colors that are associated with your signs and symbol of the incarnation you're associated with. So let's do that. So here are the colors associated with the gods. So if you are number 1, and I reiterate, number 1 is Ptah. So if you have a 1 letter as your name as Ptah, believe it or not, there are people that are associated with that. I can't fathom that, them being in America, but if you are, yours is Ptah. Now the color or colors associated with that are white, red, blue, and yellow. If you're number 2, which is Isis, gray and pink. If you're number 3, Nephias, and it's going to be yellow. If you're number 4, it's going to be red or black. If you're number 5, your god or goddess name associated with that is Horus, and it's going to be a gold or gold ember. So just stick with gold. I don't want you to get confused. Stick with gold. Yes, you need to use gold, and we're going to get into that later. If you're number 6, you're going to be Ra. Asur, which is Osiris, but Ra. Amun-Ra. And Ra is going to be associated with gold and olive green. So stick with that. If you're going to be 7, if your number is 7, it's Haru. And Haru has a yellowish brown tint, and you're going to associate yourself with white, so the color white. If you're 8, Anubis, you're gonna mess with, for the color of Anubis, you're gonna mess with citrine, whatever color citrine is. Video, I got you right here. You're gonna associate yourself with a very dark purple. A very interesting fact about purple: when I go into meditation and I use purple, purple actually allows me to see the future, or to create my future outcomes of what to see. So it's a double standard. So in other words, I can go into meditation for a moment or for a while, depending on how long I want to, and I'll focus on the color purple in my intention, and then I see a vision of whatever it is I'm trying to get a result of for the outcome, and then I'll get an answer, and that answer I follow. Despite my rationale and my reason, I'll get an answer from dealing with that, and it's my duty to fulfill that of what I'm experiencing in that very moment. So we have Shu, S-H-U, or S-H-U. So number 9 is Shu. You have black with yellow. So you want to envision yourself with black and yellow, or you want to get the colors black and yellow to set up on your altar. Number 10, we have Osiris, and if you're of the feminine energy or female, you're going to have Isis. You're going to also be associated with Isis as the opposite polarity of that. And your color is an emerald or a beckoned gold. No, sorry, correction. A flaked gold. So this is going to be gold. Number 11, you're going to have Mout. M-O-U-T or Nu. N-U. Masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine. Feminine, sorry. And it's going to be, the color associated with that is going to be indigo. Or, in other words, you're going to have a very violet, bright color to visualize or to set up on your altar. Number 12 is going to be Thoth. Thoth is going to be silver or a very light blue for yourself, for the color to use. Number 13, Chomsey, C-H-O-M-S-E, that's the goddess associated with 13. You're going to have a light rose color or a very pale green. That's the energy you need to utilize for your spiritual work or for yourself. Number 14 is Hathor, the goddess Hathor. You're going to have a very bright red. It says glowing red, so glowing is just a bright. So you're going to have a bright red associated with that. Number 15 is going to be a brown. So it says rich brown. You're going to have a very, very, very dark, let's say dark, magnificent brown. So it's going to be a glowing brown. Osiris is number 16. Ooh, that's me. You're going to have a reddish gray. But with my research with Osiris, I deal with black. Black being the main primary cause because black deals with the subconscious. And in the subconscious, you can take away and pull anything you need from it. So when I access the dream world, I'm able to get answers to help myself out spiritually or with my everyday life. So that's number 16. That'll be Osiris. Number 17, the twin, Merti. M-E-R-T-I. Again, number 17 is the twin Merti. M-E-R-T-I. The color associated with that is a dark greenish brown. So you want to have a brown associated with the soil. So you want to kind of envision yourself with some granite rock or some gray rock, but with brown. And I'm going to explain all this in a moment. Let me finish getting through the list. Number 18 is what we're on now. Harmaku. H-O-R-M-A-K-H-U. Harmaku. Or you have Khepra. K-H-E-P-H-R-I. I spell it again. K-H-E-P-H-R-A. I'm sorry, I know I said R. So that's K-H-E-P-H-R-A. Khepra. And the color associated with that is a reddish ember. Number 19 is also going to be Horus. And associated with that, you'll see Rahar Kuit, Sekhmet, and Mao. M-A-U. And you have a plum color. For number 20, you'll have Heru Pakrat. And for the female energy, you'll have Isis associated with 20. And you'll have a bright blue associated with, also along with that, a yellow, a vibrant yellow. 21, you'll have Amun-Ra. You'll have a very bland green. It says pale green, but pale. It's kind of like, just envision white people, but you're green. It's pretty hard. It may be pretty hard to associate it, but just envision a pale green or look for a pale green. 22, you're going to have Mayat. M-A-A-T. Mayat. Those colors are going to be associated with white and purple or pearl-like substance or color you're going to put on your altar. So that's 22. 22 is white and purple. 23 the books reads a little different. So you're gonna have also a Sar and Isis, and you're gonna have a indigo. So you're gonna have indigo and black. So you're gonna have a very, very dark purple, and you're also gonna utilize black. 24 is Apep, Typhon, Murti. And the colors associated with that, you're gonna have a very, very dark, at the same time clear blue. So you're gonna have a blue that really impacts. You're gonna look for a blue that really sticks out for you, for the individual. 25, you're gonna have Nephthys, Nephthys. Again, Nephthys. That's 25. So 25's color is going to be associated with, you're going to look for a very bright red, emerald, or the color of azure. 26, you're going to have Kim. 26, you're going to have a white, and you're going to also have purple colors to utilize at your aid. 27 will be Horus. You're going to have a gray colored, very gray color to work with. So you have a gray color to work with. 28, you're going to be Nut. N-U-I-T. Nut. 28 is going to be associated with Ember or Red. 29, Anube. A-N-U-B-E. Or Kepra. K-H-E-P-H-R-A. Again, K-H-E-P-H-R-A. 29. So you're going to have the color vermilion. Just Google vermilion and look up what color that looks like. You can even go to Google Images. And it's going to be, you're going to have a crimson color as well and emerald. So those are the three colors associated with that. 30 is going to be Ra. So you're going to be associate yourself with black or blue. 31, you're going to have Mao. M-A-U. Sorry, 31. Mao. M-A-U. 31. You're going to be associated with black and yellow. 31, Sebek or Mako. Sebek is spelled S-E-B-E-K, and Mako is spelled M-A-K-O. And that is associated with white, red, yellow, blue, and black. Now, I went through that list. If anything wasn't clear, just put a comment below and I'll make it clear for you. I felt like I kind of rushed that, but we'll move on. So Osiris was associated with, I know one of the colors was green. So when I had my colors and I was setting up my altar and I was trying to connect with this Siren energy, I actually did things a little differently. And how I did that was, I already had the Book of the Dead, had it on PDF, and there was a Osirian ritual before you go to bed. So when I did the ritual, and the ritual for this was very simple. For those who are 16, you'll find the Book of the Dead, and then you'll find in there where it mentions the Osirian ritual. It's not going to say, obviously, before you go to bed, but this is what I did before I went to bed. So I got myself a white candle. White candles are good for anything, any and everything, so don't be afraid of any of this, because this is all dealing with you and yourself. So I had the white candle. I lit it with the intention of, just like this, I lit the candle and then I put my hands around the candle and I said, let my attention forever reign in the astral realm, and I want this to give me an answer. So my answer was, when I went to bed and I finished meditating after I said the ritual, I said the ritual phrase at least 3 times, and then I went to bed. And as I went to bed, I immediately saw myself in this chamber. I was in the underworld and I was in this chamber. This is story time, ladies and gentlemen. Found myself in this chamber and I saw this bull. Well, the bull is also classified as Apep the bull. So I saw myself fighting against Apep just to become Apep, because I realized, why am I fighting this thing that I am? So I stopped fighting it, and then I realized myself becoming Osiris, that I already was Osiris. So I became what I already was, because I realized, no, that is me. The bull was just another aspect that I was dealing with in the underworld. So to fast forward, when I used the color that it had, green, I used green later on, but black deals with the subconscious and the underworld. So you know, whenever you close your eyes, you see darkness, you see black. That was for me to deal with that. So whenever I start meditating heavily, by all means, I started meditating heavily, I started seeing all these visions after a while. It didn't take very long because my heart was in a place of, I just want to see what happens. I have no expectations. I just want to see what happens. So as I got into this routine of meditation, it took, let's say for the first month, it took a while. I mean, I would start to see things, but I would always question everything as I was going with it. So then I was like, my power color is black, but also green. I'll get to the green in a second. So as I'm utilizing the black, I'm getting all these spiritual visitations and all these answers via the dream world or the underworld. And I can't help but continue on with the process because I was like, now I'm intrigued. Now this has my primary interest. Let's understand, not overstand. Forget that bullshit. Let's understand, because I'm in the underworld as I'm having these visitations. I'm in the dream world as I'm having these visitations and getting these answers. It was just out of this world. So I started using everything associated with black at the time. So I started getting black candles. Black is associated with your subconscious mind. Your spirit is associated with the hidden, or we can say, for lack of a better term, the unknown that you're trying to find out. The unknown then became known. So when I started doing my rituals, all I had to do was put up black and use black objects to access these things and deal with the darkness of when I closed my eyes. And I would always get an answer. So when I started dealing with green, green represent what? Life, money, prosperity, and many other things that I just haven't cared to explore yet. My spirit just hasn't led me there yet. Quite simply, there's no need to get offended or afraid. It's just, this is going to go at your pace. It's not going to go at the lecturer's pace, your friend's pace, your significant other's pace. It's going at your pace. So the more you put in, the more you get out. So then when I start dealing with the heart chakra, and I won't get into this much, for me it represented new life. So it was a new birth. So when I had the green, I went to one of my local spirit shops, and I started getting all these green crystals, these green stones. And with these stones, I was making it, actually at the time I was making a tribute to my grandmother. So she was deceased. She passed away through skin cancer. She got cancer through the skin. And at that time, it was, all right, cool, I know she's passed on, but I can't go about it the normal way of thinking that everybody else goes about it. I have to go about it my own spiritual way. So then I turned that death, which will be seen as, or through the eyes of humanity, as a downfall, really was an upbringing. So I started to get in the trend of turning it around. I started doing the alchemy. So the alchemy was, let me not see this as something bad, but see it as something very good and something that's very for me. So when I started connecting with my grandmother with the color green, oh boy, did she contact me. She had a message for me. So I did one of my rituals. My ritual was, I went to meditation. I had my candles. I gave her on my altar now, I put green on my altar, and then I had the green stones I brought, and I put them on my altar. Now, mind you, this took a little time, not a lot, a little time, because again, the more you put in, the more you get out. So I would give her some of the favorite foods that I remember her giving me, and I gave her some of her favorite drinks that I remember her giving me, or that she would drink herself. So after about a month or two, contact. I went to bed. I found myself in the underworld, and I saw my grandmother free as can be. She was letting me know, hey, I'm okay. I am living my life, and I'm doing what I gotta do. The second time she came to me, I still had the color green present on my altar, but I was kind of moving away from it. But she told me I need to focus on my heart chakra. Green, heart. There's no coincidence there. So I started focusing on my heart chakra, clearing up some of the issues I had in my heart chakra. And honestly, to be truth to truth, face to face with you, that dealt with a lot of emotional insecurities that I had that no one even cared to address to me. It's things I had to find out on my own because I just wanted to know. So as I started dealing with some of these things, I started working on my heart chakra because that was the most impacted thing, and I felt that that was the one thing that I needed to work on the most. So as I was working my way through the heart chakra, my grandmother came to me again. I saw her in the underworld, in her own world. She was happy. I mean, she was eating McDonald's. She was just dressed up in her Panthers outfit and all. Fast forward through all of that. About 2 or 3 months down the road, because during all this process I would still pour libations to her, but when I invoked her or I called her name, she would come, and I just didn't want to bother her. I just wanted to make sure she was good. So then I found out her sister had passed. Well, my other side of the family didn't really let me know until later. So I went and I did another ritual, and I sat down and I meditated at the time, whatever thought that was. I'll let that be known later. So at that time, as the ritual, after I finished the ritual, what ended up becoming of that was she came to me again, and she was with her sister, and they were so relaxed. She told me, "I got this. Thank you for guiding my sister to me to the other side. I'll take care of her from there." And that, my friends, is how you can use the colors to impact. I know the book said green, but Osiris is also associated with black. He who knows one book knows none. So that what's important is to not just always go off one book. But when I use the color green with Osiris, I use that my own energy. What I did was I utilized it on my altar and I did a ritual. Now, you can also put it on your altar. Better yet, you can even wear it and see what happens. Because what happens to me is not necessarily going to determine what happens to you. But that's a power color. If I wear green, oh, that's a power color. But mostly, my entire life, I've been wearing dark colors. Dark colors, mainly black. Why? Black represents the void, it represents the unknown, and it's a black hole, and it's also associated with the Christ energy, because out of the black, out of the darkness comes light. I'm able to wield light and get answers for what I need and for whatever cost. And you can do the same. This is not unattainable to you. It is very attainable to you. You just have to see how it works for you. So my message to you is to utilize that color, whether you're drawing the color, you're making a picture, or you're putting it on your altar, or even wearing the color. See how your day changes, because that's how you go about this. You have to go about it as, how does my day change? How does this impact my dreams? How does this impact me and my well-being? Because when you start using that, now you're utilizing and activating the pineal. You're not focused on what's going on with my life. Is the bills paid? No, there is time for that. There's a set time and there's a set place to handle and wield and utilize all of that. But when you're doing spiritual work, it's separate. It's two things. One moment you're being the hero, the other moment you're being Clark Kent. So one moment you're being Superman, spirituality, and then you're being Clark Kent in your regular human day to day. No one necessarily needs to know about you being Superman, because the truth be told, most people can't handle it when it comes to them. I've had friends who I've told this to, they just couldn't handle the magnitude of when I started talking about my shadow self, that darkness, the dark side. When I started talking about my Christ energy, they couldn't bear the weight of, that ain't real. I'm like, oh, it is real. Matter of fact, I've been succeeding and been successful by depending on this and utilizing this by all means. So the color I gave you, do what I said, but also do as thy will. You can put it on the altar. Matter of fact, what's even better, you go into meditation with that color. And when you're finished meditating on that color, if no thought or idea idea has came to you of whatever situation you're dealing with, watch how your life plays out by you dealing with your power color. Guarantee that. I take that to the bank, because when I was dealing with the black, I was dealing with the hidden and the unknown. And then when I start dealing with the green from the book, oh my God, I start seeing prosperity pop up. Matter of fact, I'll let you in on this. My grandmother came to me again. She came to me, was a fourth time. Oh, she came to me with, oh, I'm about to free you from whatever you at. All you got to do is just sit back. I went to the underworld, and she came to me. She had a jacket, and this jacket, ooh, it brought back memories. When I was in the military, I was so free. I remember I got this jacket after deployment, because after that deployment, I felt so free. I was like, I can do and conquer anything. So I was like, when she brought me that jacket in the dream world, and then she said, oh, I'm about to free you from all of this. Don't worry. That was a thank you. Thank you for guiding me through the underworld. And all I had to do was sit down and meditate. So after that happened, all I had to do then was just sit back and watch the show. And ever since then, whatever my ego was telling me, oh, we should be afraid, we should be worried, all I saw was my grandmother visiting me again in my mind mentally. Oh no, I got you. That's the trick. This is already taken care of. So far, I haven't needed or wanted from anything since I had that last encounter. And you can have this too. Stay tuned. I got another video coming for y'all. Family, y'all have a good morning. Whoever's watching, like, subscribe. If you have a question, leave a comment. If anything wasn't unclear, nigga, I'll be happy to answer for you. Don't worry. This is real conversation. This is taking out all the hashtags and the dislikes, and this is just for you solely, for those who are listening and tuning in.